Hallo zusammen, guten Abend, danke für... Nah, I don't speak German, I'm just kidding. Yo, we're just hanging out at the workshop. Working on my Mk5. 2-liter turbo, Sportwagen, 6-speed manual. It's time to get it kind of ready for winter-ish. Gonna raise up the KWs. The rear shocks are gonna get changed out for a different set. Goodyear F1s are coming off, gonna go to a winter setup on a 17-inch wheel that we had sitting around. Just actually doing work for once. It feels like for all of November and December, where I'd normally be building and getting ready for shows, there aren't any. It's time to just start working, just get these things off my to-do list. While we are hanging out, we want to give a special thanks to SolarWorks Coilovers for making this video possible, for helping Ralph be behind the camera. If you are interested in some street performance coilovers, please visit suspensionsource.com and give them a look. They are also a great source for Beltec, KW, ST, indeed like the set of KWs that I'm rocking on the Mk5. Kind of fancy for a daily driver. These are the variant ones, non-adjustable. So these are the cheapest of the full stainless steel lifetime warranty ones. Anyway, thanks again to the Suspension Source and SolarWorks Suspensions. Also, we have 15 tons of gravel arriving today. I can't picture how much 15 tons of gravel is. We're gonna find out. And then there's a local shop going out of business, old air code shops. We're gonna go and just rummage through and see what we can find there if there's anything good. Rumor has it there is a tire balancer, so I think we'll take a drive over and take a look at that. Otherwise, yes, right now it is just moving wheels, oil change. The first thing, so we're trying something new with the videos, just kind of hanging out a little bit more at the shop, which is what we normally do if there's COVID. And the first thing I do is try and take a wheel off while there's still a bolt on it. Totally nailed it. Has the KW kind of all the way down, which isn't the best for winter. So we're gonna raise it. It does have the stainless steel housings. It won't be seized. You can actually see this collar is not metal. It's like a composite thing. So it physically basically cannot seize onto it. And they do come with a lifetime warranty if you manage to break them or do something bad. This is a 2-liter TSI in a Mk5 station wagon. Only sold here for 1 year, available for 6-speed manual, so a super rare beast. And these are the Hella Dynabeam headlights, which I'm actually gonna take off because they're starting to get a bit cloudy and they are so freaking rare that I just don't wanna mess them up. What else is on the list? That's basically it. Change the rear shocks, put snow tires on those 17-inch wheels, oil change, empty the Black Forest Industries catch can. I do have the breather catch can on there, and so I wanna empty that. And then finally reset the mileage indicator for service for oil change. So that's it. That's my job. Probably 3 hours of work, I guess. Gonna have to fire up the compressor. Let's take a walk over past the wall of wheels, which is right now a great big television. Watch that, you can see that on another episode about the Westmoreland VW factory. But yes, buried under these tires is the Coates tire machine, so we'll get them mounted up. I do not own a balancer, and it is New Year's Eve 2020. We're gonna make it out of 2020. The balancing shop who needs to do the state inspection, the TÜV or the MOT on the car, is closed until at least the 4th, and they'll probably be busy. So hopefully we can get this tire balancer set up here, and then I'll be able to balance tires finally. Everyone has their screw bins, hopefully. Mine is actually organized and labeled because I just realized somehow a screw has fallen out of the car. If you're doing this sort of job just once a year, it's a really good hint to open this up and just brush out any of the crud. It builds up in here, and that's what's causing the fenders to rust out on Mark 3s, 4, 5s. Yeah, this one's missing a screw. Fixed. All right, Black Forest Industries catch can. This is what's inside. So you can see it was right below the maximum level, and this is gonna be some real grossness. Can you see this with the light? That was all of the water and oil vapor that it pulled out of the inlet system. It saved all of that from going through inside the engine. Main thing you got to do though is remember, empty it before it completely fills up. And in the winter, you got to try and avoid it freezing, but it really shouldn't. I mean, it has enough oil vapor in there that it should stop it from freezing. But if it does and it blocks up, you can have some problems. But yeah, just some regular emptying and you're pretty good to go. All right, we've heard the gravel truck pulling up, so let's stop this work and go and see just how big of a pile 15 tons of gravel. That is 30,000 pounds, which Ralph and I are gonna try and move by hand. All right, welcome back. This is our driveway. You can see like a bunch of cars and stuff. It's meant to be gravel, but the snowplow moved a lot of the gravel, so now it's kind of dirt. I ordered 15 tons. They accidentally brought 25 tons, and they're gonna give us the extra 10 for free because they don't want it back. This massive truck apparently is entirely full of gravel, and it's now gonna land right here next to Ralph and I.
What are we using to spread it?
One rake and one shovel. 25 tons of gravel. We have one rake and one shovel.
You think we got in over our heads?
Maybe. I mean, it's gonna look good, I think. Hey, 15 tons might not have been enough. 25 tons. That's great, yeah. This was meant to be 15 tons of gravel. This is 25 tons. I kind of want to drive a car over it. Like just start there and just drive like the Geo Tracker or the Touareg. Or we could just grab our one shovel and our one rake. If you're coming after COVID to hang out with us, we'll have some get-togethers and things. I hope you appreciate the gravel.
We're done. We finally did it all. Just kidding, it's only been 2 minutes.
It feels like half an hour. There's got to be a machine for this. What do smart people or rich people do? Ralph's telling me to say cut to 7 hours later. I think in 7 hours we'll still be on this pile. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's like 10 piles. Look at how long it's taking just to move that much. We're not getting this done today. Oh, we totally are. Wait, positive mental attitude. Who would have thought that moving rocks would be heavy? So this is Ralph's Ford Ranger. His hub fell off. Like this wheel's not turned, it's like out and broken. So I got my trailer behind the V8 Touareg. We're gonna try and drag it onto it. I think this is dead. I think it's time for that Mk5 Jetta to get fixed really, really fast. Can you drive it at all?
I can. I don't know if the wheel's gonna continue to fall off though.
Ralph's gonna see if he can drive it. You're gonna have to steer this way a lot. Also, it's New Year's Eve and we're on a highway in Pennsylvania. Okay, all right, we got it. No, we don't got it. It is locked. Hey, there we go. Send it. What is happening? Is this thing on all-wheel drive?
No.
So it's in two-wheel drive.
The four-wheel drive doesn't work.
All right, I mean, it's in free. Oh yeah, that stinks so bad. I don't know if this is gonna work. Go this way a little bit. All right, come on. Stop! Hold it. Go, gentle. Oh, I'm getting out of the way. Straight. Two more feet. One more. Come on, you got it. Done. Shut it off, put it in park. Is it a manual?
It's a manual.
All right, put it in gear. We made it. Wow. Look at where his front wheel drug. Oh man, that is so bad. Yeah, take a look at that. Look at that front wheel. Front wheel's off and going to the right, and this one's pretty great.
I want my $20 worth of gas I just put in.
We'll siphon it. All right, let's get this hooked up, and then let's go buy a tire balancer. Another day in the life. So, this is what we brought. However, it's now like 2 feet higher because of the thing. I just bought a wheel balancer. This is as high as you are, Ralph. What do you do when you have heavy things to lift? Bring 2 vegan kids. You gotta go. You left it? Barely. Well, we called in the big guns. We have Brandon at that 180 cabbie with a bobcat, which is one of the most fun toys that you can drive without a license. Yours is fancy. It has like this whole like enclosed cabin thing. 25 tons of gravel minus whatever Ralph and I managed to unload, which was not a lot, honestly. Ralph has gone home, so for the rest of today's fun, we're just gonna be just me selfieing it. This is gonna make this so much faster. So while Brandon is busy, moving 25 tons of gravel, now Dan Yost is here. What do you think? Wheel bearing? All right.
This side's easier to see.
Is it one of these hubs that you can use a puller for and do it on the car?
Yeah, it looks like a tape bearing to me. So they're fairly easy. Lucky to have a wheel on the front of that still.
Dan saying he's lucky to have a wheel on it. Hopes and dreams holding it on. All right, might just be a wheel bearing, maybe. Well, that's it. It's now 6 p.m. New Year's Eve. That's a whole lot different than it was just a little bit ago. Unbelievable difference. Thank you so much to Brandon for hustling. And now he's exploring the new wheel balancer. $50, hopefully well spent once I get that fixed up. It needs a belt apparently, but I feel like that's what everybody would say. Back to work. Working smarter, not harder, until it falls off and breaks properly. Feels very adult buying 25 tons of something. It feels weird. Like, so it's the Mitch Hedberg joke, rice is great when you're hungry for 1,000 of something. I think I've got most of this worked out on the tire balancer that I just bought for $50. The belt was missing that runs from the electric motor to the actual shaft that the wheel spins on. You can see right now there is a belt. I just ran to the local auto parts store and the closest I could get was a 40305. That number is not as useful. Let's switch to the metric. 4PK778. So 4PK778. What that means in belt language is 4 rib, 778 millimeters long, and I need a 750 millimeter long. You can see there's a little bit of adjustment here for tension, but not enough to make it tight. So I'm gonna have to order the correct 4PK750. Now I could do a 6PK750. The first number is the amount of ribs. So pretty much every Volkswagen accessory belt is a 6PK, but you can now use this to decipher any normal modern belt for length. Go forth, use that information when you're building custom things. But for right now, I need to order the other one. It does power up, it does spin, everything lights up, everything seems to adjust okay. So far so good. Just got to get the 750 millimeter long belt on there. Hella Dynabeams are now removed to keep them safe from the winter. Check out this cool module that they have. It actually is a custom installation part from Hella, and it goes onto the body there and has this controller module that runs to both sides of the headlights, plugs into the original harness, and then outputs to the new headlights. So really a fancy setup, especially for mid-2000s. Car is completely blown apart now. Did drop the radiator fans because I've got a module fault, but I threw them back in because I want to run VCDS while the engine is running. So that means I'm going to finish up the oil change. So new Hanks filter installed. Next oil is going in. Top tip, clean off around the outside there. So when you remove the cap, more crud doesn't fall in. One of my favorite sponsors, Liqui Moly. This is the 5W40 Leichlauf. Very, very briefly, let's take a look here. You can see there VW502, 505. So it is approved, not just recommended, but actually tested and approved for it. It's also always made in Germany. A couple things that maybe you don't realize. I'm doing this one-handed. There is a little spout funnel built into every bottle. It makes it easier to pour. Can I do this one-handed? No, I cannot. Great. Finally, this is a little sticker that you can peel off and put in the corner of your windshield. There you go. It does just peel off. It comes built into every bottle. All right, I'm not gonna one-hand this because I don't want to pour it all over. Black Bar's catch can is back on. Drain plug is back on. So this is the final thing I need to do before firing it up and testing those radiator fans more. Rear shock. Going down the highway, the car would kind of bounce left and right when you hit a bump. Set of Bilstein Sports with lifetime warranty, unfortunately from a previous owner, so no good for me. But here is proof in the pudding of why it's blown. See that? It just takes one pinky finger. It shouldn't move that easily. So that was it. Right rear shock, pretty much blown. If I was the original owner, well, I could mail them in and get a replacement set. Fortunately, I do have a set of KWs, so I'm going to put those on. This is a good set, and they are dampening adjustable. I'm going to set these to 10 out of 20, right in the middle of the adjustability. And here's another top tip for suspension. If it's been laying on its side, if it's brand new or if it's used, just take it and go through its full stroke multiple times, lifting it up and down. So you saw there, it went down very easily and coming up way harder. So we're going to just do that maybe 4 or 5 times. And we're going to feel it changing as it goes, as it settles the oil and gets it to where it should be. If you buy a set of decent coilovers, do that first just to settle the oil before you throw it in. Final thing I want to point out while I'm putting this all back together is you're supposed to tighten the back bolts with the rear suspension at normal ride height level. What does that mean? Normally when you put them on, hanging down, suspension's all dripping because the car is lifted up. And you slam in your new coilovers, tighten it all up, forget about it. Really, the factory correct way to do it is lift it up using sketchy jack and a piece of wood if you're on a lift to the correct normal ride height, and then torque everything down. And it does make sense if you think about it, because there's those bushings in there, and that's what you're tightening up the bolts that are going, you're tightening up the bolts that are going through the bushings, and you're basically loading those bushes in the wrong spot. So for it to ride better and for them to do their job, torque it down when it's at the resting normal ride height. Is it going to make much of a difference? Are you going to be able to tell the difference? I doubt it. It just seems nice, and now that I've learned to do that, I can't not do it. It just seems like I'm being nicer to the bushings, to the car, and if I want the car to ride best as it possibly can, putting nice suspension in it seems like the thing to do. I absolutely hate this drawer. This drawer has no organization. The other ones are pretty organized. Hammers are pretty good. Impact guns, pretty good. The car is now down off the lift. I've got the winter tires, which is good because it's just above freezing, even at the end of the day when the sun was out here. Oil change done. Everything on my to-do list is done except steering alignment, annual state inspection, which if you're in Germany is just like the TÜV. If you're in Britain, is just like the MOT. Yeah, I think that's about it. I've driven it a little bit. Suspension settled pretty nicely, so I think it's pretty even as we are. On Thursday, it goes in for the inspection, the alignment, and then I think it's done for another year because we're really not driving anywhere with COVID, so no liquid oil change for 5,000 miles. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let us know in the comments what you think about projects, what you'd like to see more of, if you have any questions, any suggestions. Otherwise, wash your hands, wash your cars, and take care.